Hello guys and welcome to today's STPL. We're going to be heading into two pretty exciting matchups. The top three teams of the STPL are going to be playing today. Two of them against each other, one of them against the 5th place team, which is kind of crazy. Looks like Iradia's here, which is kind of cool. It's surprising to see you here this time, which is awesome. Creative's here as well to support his team, so it's all looking good. Let's have a look at our first matchup we're going to be having today. We're going to start off here with White Clan versus Rev. Now, White Clan historically have done a little bit better than Rev have. They came second in the Season 1 semi-finals, whereas Red didn't make it into the playoffs last season. They made it in the playoffs in one of the rounds, but that didn't really count too much because they didn't make it in the final. But Red have done very, very well this season. They've gone from strength to strength. Bull versus IRK are going to be on, or is going to be on Friday. I was going to do all three today, and I realized I'm like pretty exhausted because I've been waking up really early for work, and yeah, my body's not used to it. It's not good. I got too used to like being off work and then like working in our office rather than going into London. But either way, should be good. Also, it means we can cast one final week 12 match on Friday, and then we'll do our first week 13 one as well, so that should be good. But either way, let's have a look at today's rosters. We're going to start off here with a new player for White Clan. It's going to be Pro 1, or I'm just going to call him Pro for the case of this, against Creative. It's going to be a PvP. We're going to have a ZVP between Fairy and Eriador. That's going to be fun. We're going to have a TVP between FAMASE and LML. Now, FAMASE has one of the best Terran versus Protoss in the league, so this could be quite a difficult game for LML. And then we're going to have JH, who's another newer player to White Clan, against Cryark in a TVT. Now, Cryark is actually a really good TVT player, so that should be a lot of fun. Cannot wait for that one, obviously with TVT being my favorite matchup. But before we get there, we will have a PvP to start us off with. Looking at our first player, it's going to be Creative for Red. We're not going to introduce White Clan's player because we actually know who he is. And he's not played so far, but Creative has only played one game. He was up against Koga and he lost, which isn't really that surprising. Koga's amazing PvP is very difficult to beat, so it's going to be a PvP this time. Things will be a little bit different. Let's introduce our first map quickly. It's going to be Desperado. Desperado, a really, really fun map. 2 gases in the main in case you've never seen it before. Looks like I've actually got cheers ready for every team that's playing today, which is good. So people can actually cheer with their channel points. I'm wondering if I should maybe increase the price, given how essentially there's not much else to spend them on. But Desperado, really, really cool map. 4 players, 2 gas in the main, no gas in the natural. So tech in PvP, very, very strong. And without further ado, let's get into game number 1. It's Creative versus Pro. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we have in the blue, fighting for White Clan, it's Pro. And his opponent spawning up here in the top right-hand position in the red, fighting for Red, it's Creative. We've got a South Korea, Germany? Just trying to remember. I can't actually see. Oh yeah, it is Germany. South Korea Germany matchup. Hey Buena, good to see you, man. There's a lot of German players on Red. A lot of them used to be on Ash. I don't know if there are still a lot of Germans on Ash, but I know the Germans from Ash in Season 1 kind of what was I gonna say? Yeah, the Germans in Season 1 from Ash just gave up playing, so I don't know if like there's just a lot of Germans, but Creative saying that isn't correct. Okay, I swear Red has a lot of... Oh, apparently Red was a channel with a lot of German friends back in 2011. No, I know you weren't in Ash. I just mean there's a lot of other Germans that were in Ash. You had players like Goody and stuff in Ash last season, but they kind of stopped playing for some reason. Now, both players going for a gateway first here. Looks like we are going to have Pro going for a gas, whereas Creative is maybe looking to do something a little bit cheeky. Go for a 2-gate here. That would be a little bit difficult to do, but Assimilate coming in as well. And yeah, Ash was a German clan from the beginning, so that makes sense. Kind of crazy how many German players there are, because when I think of how many actual like UK players there are from Brood War, like even when you go back far enough, you've got players like Quark and Midian. Outside of that, I've genuinely got no idea of any other English players. There's also like Cycro now. And Albert saying that TOT was partly a German clan as well. Irani, I was asking why this map is so good for Protoss. This is why this map's so good for Protoss. Yeah, Cadenzi as well. Essentially, the double gas in the main makes it very easy for Protoss to tech up super fast, which makes them very strong in TVP. And it makes them pretty strong in PBZ as well, because they don't need to worry about expanding. They can defend their main base, and then they can expand a little bit. But essentially, I think that's the reason. It's just a pretty good map for Protoss in general. Okay, so Creative is going to go for a second gateway a little bit quicker here than his opponent. Not by much though, so things are looking pretty good regardless. Now, interestingly, the probe hit out in the main, so he's going to come in, try and get a couple of kills on some probes. See if he can knock Pro down in the economy a little bit earlier, but the trouble is while doing this, his probe production hasn't been as high. So he's actually fallen behind in workers to make this happen, so he needs to do a little bit of damage here. Gets one probe, can he get a second one? Gets a second one. Is he going to get a third? This could be very, very important, but no, the third probe does not go down. And Iraniaras isn't it better for Zerg as 2 gas in the main favors them? It kind of does in CVP, but kind of doesn't. Oh, it was 3. Sorry, okay, my bad. I've actually got a cup of tea today. Like, I don't know how good of an idea this is, but we're going to try drinking tea this cast and then see how it goes. Because I need some caffeine, even though it doesn't really affect me anymore. One of the funny things from today, if you guys have been following this StarCast thing whatsoever, is Naokan and Artosis casted a game between, I think it was Russian Ruin or something, or Russian Snow or something. And the name of Artosis' video was like, "What is this map?" in full caps. So in comments, I came in and told him what the map was. I don't know if they actually knew. I couldn't watch it because I was at work, but I did my best. Although I say that, I was actually sat watching KCM today on my phone. I didn't have any like sound or anything, but I just had it on in front of me because not really much was going on. So I just kind of snuck that in. Oh, they actually did know what the map is. Okay. I was gonna say, like, how does Artosis not know a map from 2004 or even earlier? It's like 2003 or 2 was the original. Then there was Enter the Dragon 2004 was the updated one. Now we've got DTs coming in from Pro. 2 DTs to be in fact. It's gonna be a Robo support bay here from Creative. Now, the trouble is with going for a Robo support bay is, as we can see, there is no observatory. So these DTs, if they get in, if they can do any damage whatsoever, it's going to be very difficult to be able to come back from that. Now the observatory needs to start, and it needs to start soon. Obviously the probe going out on the map is going to be able to see the shimmering DTs as they run past, but it's still not easy. There's a Robo facility coming up from Pro as well. And this could be a very one-sided game. I always hate these kinds of games because there's no detection whatsoever. But wait, does Pro not know where his opponent is? Oh my goodness, Pro doesn't know where his opponent is. Oh man. This is, wait. Maybe he does? I was gonna say, he scouted there. Why isn't he going there? I guess he wanted to avoid the army, thinking there's an observer. Yeah, he's worried there's an observer somewhere, so he's not going in. But there's no... Okay, the observatory is only just now finished. An observer has not even started yet. And these DTs, they're not doing anything. Is he just waiting for a... No, he's not waiting for a shuttle. He can't be. He's just too scared of observer. He doesn't want to go in. Either that or he's waiting for the units to pass, but even then, it's just not worth it. Now, funnily enough, he's going to see that there's a shuttle coming. He should know that this is going to be a Reaver, but he needs to go with the DT, so I just don't get what he's doing. Looks like he's going to push forward. There is some High Templar out here, but Storm, of course, not going to be ready for this. And Irradiar, if you need to know how to reveal an entire map while watching the replay, press Alt and Z, and it's a button in the diplomacy menu. You can use the bar on the right by pressing R, but Alt and Z is the way to do it. DT's getting in the main though. Lots and lots of probes going down. Creative down to 17, 6 kills. 7 kills, 8 kills, but look at this on the other side of the map. Oh my god, Creative! Oh, that Scarab was massive! So many workers going down for both players. But Pro, he's killed literally, well, 99% of Creative's economy. And the trouble is, there's no units back home to defend this. DTs are going to pop out, though. There's no Observer. The Observer having to stay at home, but he can't build a second one. No, I was going to say that's not an Observer in the middle of the map, is it? But more and more probes going down. It's 8 probes to 8 probes. The DT is going to try and get the Dragoons here. But if the Dragoons can kill the Nexus before the Nexus is done, Pro can't rebuild it. But before the DTs kill the Dragoons even, it looks like the Nexus is going to go down. Oh my god, the Robo's down though. There is an Observer. And Creative actually has them. Oh, no way. Pro has built a Nexus down in the bottom right. This is a ridiculous, ridiculous Alt-Z, Irradiar. This is a ridiculous PvP. Now, there's an Observer chasing these Dragoons with a DT, but 2 more DTs come into the main. There's only a single Dragoon back here. Creative is not really mining right now. He's going to lose his final probes, it looks like. And Pro with this hidden base may be able to take the game. This is such a weird, awful situation. Oh, and there's a Nexus in the natural as well. Sorry, I didn't notice that. That kind of takes with the hype a little bit. But, I mean, Creative still has money for a Nexus. He's still got his main Nexus. Can he hold the top of his ramp? Where is the Observer? Why is the Observer down here? The Observer needs to get to the ramp immediately. And Creative essentially just has to sit back. He has to hold on, but the Observer's left. Oh my goodness, he's left the... He can't save his Nexus. I think this is it. He's got no probes. He needs to save his Nexus, but he's not saving the Nexus. Move back. You need to get the Nexus. You need to save it. But the Nexus goes down. The final probe goes down as well. Oh my goodness. All he has is an Observer and a Dream. What a crazy game. It looks like Pro could have this sewn up because Creative is not going to find it easy to push across the map, but Pro does not really have an economy. He has a probe in the bottom right, 7 probes in the top left, and there is an Observer for Pro, so Creative's not going to be able to get away with that, but with no Robo... Oh, he does have a, he has a shuttle and a Reaver, so the few minerals he's going to have left, they're likely going to be going towards Scarabs. And that's pretty much all he can get, but this is probably one of the craziest PvPs I've ever seen. The only PvP crazier than this was the STPL Grand Finals Ace match. Game 7, Best versus Noob. Oh my goodness, DT versus DT games are amazing, but this is equally good. And these are the PvPs I like to see as well, Lucky Noob, because man, they're crazy. It's Alt plus Z, so if you press Alt and Z at the same time, you bring up the reveal entire map. Yeah, sorry, I see Z rather than Z. Z, C, B, D, all of them sound the same. Okay, the Reaver gonna come into the main with a Dragoon, but unfortunately, I mean, Pro has been able to build stuff, so he's gone up to 13 probes. Looks like Creative does not know about the bottom left-hand corner, so it is going to be a base race here. And the Reaver needs to be saved if he loses the... Oh, he keeps it alive, but that's so close. He doesn't get a chance to fire with it. That's the problem. every single time. Nice dodging though. And it looks like he is going to be able to kill the units, but does he have enough units to be able to take this down? Now, Pro has got a lot of money. He's got absolutely no gas though, so no DTs are coming in. No High Templar. Oh man, this is absolutely ridiculous. This could be the craziest comeback ever. And when I say comeback, I mean you lose your Nexus and you have no more money or Nexus. Like, what? Or probes. Like, now, this should tip Creative off to know there's another base somewhere. If he goes down to the bottom right-hand corner right this instant, he can still win this game. If Creative does not kill the probes, if he does not kill this final Nexus, Pro has a chance of building a forge and building cannons in the bottom right to defend. And if he gets a single cannon, all of a sudden, this is going to become almost impossible to break because he only has... Oh my goodness, that Scarab. But he's out of money now. This is it. That was his final Scarab. And he... Oh my god, he still doesn't know about the right-hand base. This is game. I hate to say it and I hate to call it, but Creative is going to sit in this base forever and he's not going to be able to find any units. DTs are starting to spawn down here as well. Looks like Creative is going to try and take down the pylons immediately. Killing these pylons is going to be super important, but he's not going to be able to block the gateway from coming out. Oh my god, that actually... There we go. Oh, can he actually block the second DT? It's going to be so close. The DT's going to spawn, but where is the Observer? There's no Observer. Creative is going to be so confused right now. How does he have money? The Observer is down here still, but he's blocked any additional units coming out. Now, is there going to be a Forge coming up down here? Because literally there's 5 Dragoons against all Pro has. Creative cannot rebuild any units. He cannot rebuild any Scarabs. Looks like the Shuttle is scouting for hidden bases. But say, for example, Pro gets 3 cannons up here with the minerals he's got. There's no way he's breaking up that with 5 Dragoons. I mean, admittedly, the problem is he's got a shuttle, and there's nothing that can kill the shuttle, but maybe I was wrong. Creative managed to block the unit production from our Protoss player here. Pro, in other words. And he sniffed something out. He knows there's something funky going on, but look at this. 2 gateways coming up immediately. Pro is going to start building whatever he wants to. He's still got all of his tech. It may be unpowered, but it doesn't matter. Now, can Creative scout this out quick enough? He's heading down to the bottom right because he knows something's wrong, but he needs to be able to get in before these gateways can build more DTs. And there we go. GG. Pro taps out and Creative wins game number 1. Damn, what a game. What a brilliant game to start us off on. Oh my goodness. I thought Creative for sure had lost that game because Pro was still mining. But there we go. Red Protoss wins. Creative wins. Great job by him. Great game by Red to be able to go 1-0 up immediately against White Clan. And that's really going to keep their hope alive of being able to make it into these playoffs because they have to play White Clan and then Seoul right in a row. The 2 best teams, well, 2 of the best teams right next to each other. And obviously that's going to be a problem. So let's figure out what game number 2 is going to be. Creative saying LML pointed out to him this is the first mirror he saw where the winner mined only 60% of minerals of the loser. It's a fair point, but you did a good job with the units you had, and it all comes down to that in the end. Now, what I'm going to do is we'll go straight into game number 2 before we take a break, because what I'm trying to work on is making sure we spend more time in the game and the stuff outside the game is a little bit more concise. Now, I know I've got all the videos and stuff, which makes the stuff in the break not as bad, but still, the viewer count drops a little bit, and also it means my days go on forever. So, to try and make things a little bit easier for myself, let's get into game number 2. Obviously going to give the win to Creative, then we'll introduce both of our next players. Starting us off here for White Clan, it's going to be Fairy. Where are we? Not used to this. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Fairy coming on up here. He's got a 55% win rate overall. He's played against some incredibly strong players and beat some strong players as well. He's also lost against some players that maybe aren't as strong, like Mitak for instance. So that could be a little bit of a problem, but his opponent fighting here for red is going to be Eriador, aka Liquid Drone. If you don't know who Eriador is and you're a member of the foreign scene, genuinely, I don't know where you've been. This man has been around since the days of vanilla. He knows absolutely everything about Brood War. He knows everything about everyone. And he's genuinely one of the nicest people you can meet. From Norway, a great player. Should be a lot of fun to see him play here as we head into our second map, which is going to be Neo Outlier. And I've answered your Discord message, but Neo Outlier, really fun 3-player map. It's been a little bit Protoss favored so far, which is actually going to benefit Eriador here, as Red do want to take their next game if they can, to keep the pressure off of them going into game number 3. But obviously, Fairy, a very strong Zerg player, so this could be a difficult game. And the other thing is, this could be a very long game as well, because when you get into the game and see Eriador's average game duration, you'll understand what I mean. So let's head into game number 2. It's going to be Eriador versus Fairy on Neo Outlier. Okay, starting us off in the bottom left-hand position in the yellow, fighting for red from Norway, it's Eriador. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner, we do have the blue Zerg player fighting for White Clan, it's Fairy from South Korea. And just to quickly go back to Aradia, part of the problem is I don't speak very clearly, so don't feel bad that you need to improve your English listening. I'm sure you're doing fine. It's just how it is. Okay, now Eriador gonna go for a gateway first here, not the most oh my god, it's gonna be a 2-gate. So the man who I said you need to watch out for, because I mean if you have a look at the average game duration of his, which is 21 minutes, or sorry, it's 21.7 minutes, which actually doesn't make any sense. Yeah, essentially Eriador is a very, very good player. Very, very fun. He's got really interesting macro styles. Like, I was really hoping we'd get a really long PvZ here with a lot of Dark Archon action, but I don't think we're going to see that here. I think it's going to be a relatively quick game. Obviously, 2-gate Zealot, you kind of have to do damage to your opponent. Fairy is going to scout it, so he knows exactly what's going on. Now, Fairy did go for an overpull into a hatchery, so it's not like he's gone 12 hatch, which is something. Albert, can you private message me that? Because I genuinely don't understand how to make it appear in proper seconds. I don't think this was 9-9, I think it was a little bit later than this, but kind of crazy. It looks like Fairy is going to be pushing across the map with a few links himself, wants to try and counterattack before the Zealots get into position. LML saying this is the only position where the wall works, which is kind of funny. Probe goes down, that's a little bit unfortunate for Eriador. The probes obviously make it so the Zealots early game can 2-shot lings, which is certainly something that Eriador wants to be aiming for. Now, double gateway, definitely going to be pumping those Zealots out quite thick and fast for the time being. But Eriador has to think of transitioning out of this. If he just stays Zealots, what's going to happen is, as you can see, Fairy is just going to build a ton of Lings, and he is going to go for a big counter. So that could be a problem. I also love someone's got the name Big Dick Kicks. That's a great name. Now, is it just me, or are we missing game sound? No, we're not. Okay, it's just me being silly. Now, we've got a good number of Zealots here. There's a good number of probes as well coming up to help this. Obviously, the economy, despite being on one base for Aerodor, is actually a little bit better than his opponent, but every mineral he gets is going straight back into Zealots. Now, the trouble is, those Zealots are all on his opponent's side of the map, so if he gets counterattacked, he could be in a little trouble here. Now, Speed should be coming in soon. Yeah, looks like Speed is almost done. But Aerodor going to find himself in a position on the ramp here. This could be incredibly good. But looks like we are going to have pretty good trades from the Zealots. The drones being pulled going to make this very, very difficult for the Zealots to engage properly. The drones also can actually use this as a chance to escape the main base. Now, we've had 2 games so far where the early game has just been absolutely ridiculous, so it looks like we are going to have Aerodor getting into the mineral line. He's trading incredibly efficiently with these Zerglings. Now, on the high ground, we have a Sunken Up, but there is still a ton more Zealots where they came from, and if the Zealots get on top of the spawning pool, if they can take that out, they will be in a good position. Just reading chat, it's so funny. Apparently Big Dick Kicks has a special thing for Rapid when the next VSL cast is on. And then Lucky Noob says Rapid Casting Couch. Oh my god. Now looks like Aerodor pulling back with his Zealots. He is behind the mineral line, which makes it very difficult for our Zerg player to pop it. Pop in is the wrong word here, especially in these circumstances, but looks like that Zealot going to be hit by 3 Zerglings at a time, the perfect amount to take it down. But another load of Zealots are going to try and get into the main, but there is a ton of Zerglings here. It looks like Fairy maybe has done enough. Aerodor maybe not waiting for enough Zealots here. And looks like Aerodor is actually going to lose the game. Fairy is doing a really good job defending it. He saved his spawning pool, he saved his main hatchery, and he's still got a ton of Lings. This is amazing. Look at this. He's going to surround the last 2 Lings as well. The last 2 Zealots even. And when he kills those, what's Aerodor got? He's got 2 Zealots back at home. He never went for an expansion. He doesn't have a forge. He's got 5 pylons. None of them in a position that's going to help him here, because this is way too many Lings with speed. You can have a million Zealots if you want. Now, this is really weirdly tight, apparently. Not sure how that works, but unfortunately for Aerodor, buildings do die, and he can't repair them. So Aerodor going to try and push forward, but the second he moves out of his base, a million Zerglings go down on top of him. And this isn't looking too good. Fairy definitely in a great spot. He's only on 8 drones, but it's enough. GG. Fairy taps out. Oh, sorry, Aerodor taps out, and Fairy wins game number 2. I need to avoid looking at chat. Oh my goodness, I'm losing it. Right. So, that's the end of game number 2. We'll be back with game number 3 when we get back after this very short break. See you guys soon.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Okay, we have a ton of Matrino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matrino link, it brings up the Matrino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. It'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it'll add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie. STPL does. Bio TVP. Wow! You got it. STPL does. Mass Scouts? No problem. Broadcast 3 nights a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2100 CEST. Fantastic casting, fantastic production, fantastic prizes. Only here on the STPL. Did you know Reavers could be this radical? How did these lings even get here? All I know is that's one dead base. STPL does. Wraiths, Valkyries, Carriers, and Corsairs. Forget about it. You won't see that anywhere else. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. DT's doing game-ending damage? Name a more iconic duo. We've even got carriers in PvZ. How amazing! A global team league on the scale you've never seen before. Don't see this in BWCL, STPL does. All that and more, only on this amazing 64-bit STPL. What BWCL don't. Impressed? I know I am. Why not support us on the link below? Patreon.com/kicks. But act fast. It's a limited offer.
Coast 103.5.
Okay guys, welcome back. We're here, and I say we because I am actually joined by Rapid, who has just woken up. Or not just woken up, what the hell are we going on about? Oh my god, he is awake, is what I meant to say. So, there we go.
Kicks!
And this is a mess. What
How
have I
dare
done?
you?
What have I done to
You're
your
revealing
camera?
our secret conversation. Oh no, people will know that I messaged you to cast today.
Yeah,
Okay, wait a second. I gotta get scooted to the side. Hold on, guys.
hold
I'm
on.
gonna
I think
scoot to the side.
I can fix you. It's fine. There we go. I think you're more in the middle now. Although you seem a little bit smaller than me
Whoa.
for some reason.
There we go.
So,
Well, I am a little bit smaller than you, Kicks.
yeah, but I am 6'5", so let's have a look.
Hey, look. I'm moderately close to your height. All right.
You are. You're really not that much shorter than me, so I can't make fun of that. Now
Okay, now I'm way too large, Kicks.
Are you?
I'm like hulking over you. Also, you're ruining the illusion because like my head's cut off. Maybe I just need to fix my camera. There we go. All right.
It's me.
Okay.
Right, there we go. Although apparently I can now see a Discord thing where I'm also in the thing when I'm talking. There we go. I'm gonna move over. I've cut off your arm a little bit, but it's fine. It's been a while since I've done this, so
I
I've
can't
gotta
see
get
you in
used to-
Discord, so I'm at a distinct disadvantage here.
Yeah, I'm lucky. So it's all good, but very winning that series. Let's introduce our next couple of players. Starting us off for White Clan is going to be Famasi. Now Famasi, one of the best players in the league, ranked 5 overall, 82% win rate, and he is 10-for-1 against Protoss. So this is going to be tough for his opponent, who is going to be LML. LML, a German player for Red, doing pretty well himself, 66% win rate, but he's 0-for-2 against Terran. And I mean, when you're up against one of the best Terran versus Protoss player in the league, it could be a little bit tough.
Yeah, I get LML confused with TTF sometimes because they got these 3-letter acronyms going on. But regardless, I think it's safe to say that LML may be the underdog here, Kix. What do you think?
I think it's possible, but if game one is anything to, I don't know if you saw game one, but that was
I
like
did.
that was the craziest PvP I've seen in a very long time, and that was, I would definitely say Korea was the underdog there, but he still won. So let's quickly introduce the map. It's going to be New Tornado, one of the more standard maps we've had in the Season 2 map pool. In terms of TvP, Terran have actually had a pretty distinct advantage against Protoss players here, but the matchups have been a little bit one-sided sometimes, so that complicates things a little bit. But let's get into game number 3. It is FAMASI versus LML. Okay, starting us off here in the top right-hand position, we do have the green Terran player fighting from South Korea for White Clan. It's FAMASI.
AKA why White Clan make it to the finals. If they play him, okay. I'm so glad they're playing him again. And on the other side, playing for red is LML.
Yep, LML certainly been kind of a... I feel kind of weird saying this, but like when LML first signed up and when he first started playing in Season 2, maybe it's because I've got very like high expectations, but I thought, honestly, I don't think LML's going to do too well because I didn't know too much about LML before this, but it turns out he has been a dead ringer here for Red. He's done so much work for them, won so many games, and he's actually one of the pivotal reasons why they're currently 5th in the season, which is just crazy compared to how they were doing like the end of last season.
Hey, the season before that, they made it top 4, okay? So, look, we've seen good... Wait, were they top 4? I'll go back and check my mouth. Don't believe my fake news, guys. They did really well at one point before.
Yeah, that was at one point in Season 1 when it was rounds, which is way too confusing. I'm glad I got rid of that for Season 2.
I'm glad you got rid of it too.
Yeah, if you think...
This is the worst part. Oh wow, Germany getting turn rate 20 to Korea? Jeez. That's crazy.
It's possible. It just depends on people's internet, that's the problem. And yeah, Red went to playoffs in round 2 of Season 1, but ended in 4th place, according to Creative. I'm glad I've got so many wonderful people in chat that remember things that I can't, because it makes my...
Yeah, how do you people remember that? Honestly, guys, get a life. I think you watch too much StarCraft.
With me, I'm kind of lucky where I've been solo casting a lot recently, like chat. They're like really good to bounce off of. These guys in chat are really nice. You know what I had in chat like a week ago? Ending Life and Yaj in the same chat, and they didn't argue. It was, oh my god. It was like a miracle. It was great.
Wow. I'm impressed. You know, this just goes to show that you should never judge a book by its cover.
Yeah. Although the only reason why they weren't arguing was I threatened to turn the car around, essentially.
I was gonna say, like, did you mute them both or something? No. Like,
they tried to start it, but I put my foot down. That was it.
How dare you? Wow. You're just ready to drive that minivan with the kids across the country, aren't you? Maybe that's an analogy for what STPL is. We've got a tournament full of unruly Brood War players and Twitch chatters, and somehow Kix has to keep everybody under control while he moves the STPL van to our vacation, and I don't know where it is. Tulsa. Somewhere. Nobody vacations in Tulsa.
I've heard of that place, but I've got no idea where it is.
Yeah, kind of like me in Suffolk.
To be honest, I don't actually know exactly where Suffolk is either, so...
Well, I'm hoping it's somewhere in the south, but I have no idea either.
It's somewhere south, but I'm not actually sure where.
These fake British people, I tell you, don't even know where their country is.
And the funny thing is, I can't even excuse the fact that, like, my country's big, because there's states in the US that are bigger than Britain. Like, well, it's really bad. Like, oh my god.
Okay, hey. There's a game going on, Kix. We should talk about that.
It was a barracks fast expand coming in from Pharmacy, and then he's going for a gas afterwards. Now, actually, that gas expand? Yeah, I guess it was a... No, it definitely was a barracks fast expand. He's got his bunker up in time, which is good. Did lose a marine, though. A little bit frustrating. Gonna force out another marine, most likely. Nope. Just gonna do that. LML, meanwhile, going into goon range off of one base. Not really anything too much to say there on the fact he's expanding on 26 supply.
Oh, wow. You know where Ipswich is?
It's near Essex, I think, right?
Yeah, but Ipswich is like the biggest town in Suffolk.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it's right next to Cambridge, you know? We're figuring this out. Oh, yeah, you live like way on the other side. Never mind.
Yeah, I do now. I used to live closer because I used to live in Essex, but...
Okay. All right, never mind. I'm just trying to distract us from the game that's going on. But right now we're watching the PVT classic of one Dragoon hitting a bunker and one SCV repairing it. Sick, guys. You're killing it.
It's essentially talking about the game is it's one of the things I do sometimes, but it's become like second nature to just trying to keep up with what the hell drama's going on in chat recently. Because when you're solo casting, there's only so much you can say, so you just kind of you rely on chat a lot. They start chatting with you start chatting back, and it's all good. No one's been angry with me for not talking about the game before, but when important stuff happens, I do talk about it. It's all good. But
I've got the perfect meme for this. I'm going to post it in chat here in just a second. Don't worry. You can keep casting. I just remembered it.
Okay, well, we've got the bunker being attacked by the Dragoons Academy on the way, which is going to be super important because you need to know what your opponent's doing. It does allow you, or it gives you the ability to build a scanner against DTs. Now, the important thing to note is Pharmacy hasn't really had a chance to scout his opponent that much, so he doesn't really know what's going on behind this. I'm really interested in exactly what this meme is going to be, but I guess I'll find out eventually. Siege mode coming in from Pharmacy, not going to go for mines first or anything. Just going to play this super straight up.
Okay, screw it. I'll just post this in chat. There it is. It's the same basic idea, but it's in this meme. The floor is talking about the game.
The game is lava, surely.
Well, no, the floor is the game. That's why we don't touch it. But essentially, yes, the game is the analog of lava in that meme to totally explain and thus ruin the joke. But there you go, Kicks.
All good. I live to ruin jokes.
Why are only two of our Dragoons firing, Kicks?
Because if he moves too far forward, he'll get his Dragoons attacked by a tank. So playing a little bit carefully, wants to make sure he doesn't get caught off guard. Now there is
our shuttle's going in.
Yeah, Bulldog coming into the main. This is really awkward because the Dragoons, the tanks are on the low ground, the Dragoons are getting on the top of the factories. And this could be a problem, but even the SCVs are being pulled here, actually.
Yeah, we're elevatoring. And it looks like the SCVs are killing everything, Kicks.
Yeah, SCVs are pretty good when they trap the units in the corner. It gives the tanks a chance to move up, the Marines a chance to move up as well, and it bugs out the Dragoon AI. So Dragoon's going to fall back for now, but there is a support bay coming in, so this shuttle is going to go back in soon with a Reaver.
Yeah, he actually didn't have vision of a mineral patch to like drill them through the Dragoons and totally glitch them out, but still, you know, mission accomplished. Sucks to lose the mining time, but look, anytime you can pick off Dragoons for free is a good one. So behind this, LML is expanding to the 6 o'clock location. I totally forgotten what Neo Tornado was. So you know what I did, Kicks?
Yeah.
I googled new tornado and it didn't help me at all. It just linked me to some like 2019 tornado, which happened to be in Texas. But anyway, I was very unhelped by that. And then I looked it up on Team Liquid and I realized, aha, the 6 o'clock location, of course, makes total sense.
Well, today I saw Artosis post the VOD of him and Nyokan casting, and the name of the VOD was like, what is this map? So I went and told him what the map was, not realizing he actually knew and I couldn't hear the sound. So either way, people in Artosis' chat now know the map is called Enter the Dragon, and I also tried to find that by searching for Enter the Dragon on Google, and that also didn't help. Oh, that was dumb. Luckily enough,
I don't want to know what
exists.
happens when you Google Enter the Dragon, but I'll take your word for it, Kicks. Thanks for being the guinea pig on that one.
Well, the Bruce Lee film comes up, of course.
Oh, Yeah. Yeah, of course. That's what I was thinking about. You know, there's this subreddit about dragons and cars, right? Or is it buses?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Yeah, well,
That sounds like
definitely
something
don't
fast to
Google
go
that,
on.
guys. You're 10,000% right about that, Kix. He's definitely subscribed to that. Anyway,
Oh, the Reaver!
it's going in and going down. Never mind.
Yep.
Wow, I'm so excited for that, and then nothing happened.
Yeah, he got one nice Scarab hit off, killed about 3 to 4 SCVs, but then the shuttle goes down, and that means he's actually really far behind now, because he's trying to go for a third bait. It's not going to, well, it's finished, but he's not going to really see the gains from this base for the next couple of minutes, so essentially, unless he pre-built gateways, which it looks like he kind of has, Fatmassey has got a big chance to actually do a big timing here.
He sure does, Kix. And I mean, look, Fatmassey's timings are 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Yeah, okay, so, you know, he could just go whenever. I think any timing he thinks is good. So you're right. After you take out a shuttle and a Reaver and you haven't really taken damage all game long, it's time. And a lot of times you'll see guys like Scan is a really big proponent of like a 2-1 push once you build up and hit close to max. But this is like, I mean, if he did go right now, that would be like the next step where you just hit +1, you realize your opponent is down a shuttle, Reaver, goons, and it's just expanded, and then you go. But I don't know. Anytime I see a Terran try to attack early, I always get a little skeptical. Because why kill him at 10 minutes, Kix, when you could kill him at 35 minutes?
Well, one interesting mistake Fatmassey actually made this game is he delayed his science facility a little bit too much. So his +1 finished a while ago. His +2 is delayed, so that does come in things a little bit later on. Now, he didn't actually have that many tanks. He did lose one of his early ones at the beginning of the game, so he can't really push right now, and this definitely plays into LML's hands. LML getting those super bases, given the fact that minerals have 2,000 of the natural. And he's actually got a good number of gateways already, so as long as he just pumps gateway units and doesn't try and tech up super hard to arbiters immediately, he should be able to hold on to this upcoming push.
Should be able to hold on here.
Yeah.
And actually, if you look out on the map, there aren't these massive minefields. There's like 5 mines out on the map. So I think any Protoss player is pretty happy with that. Obviously, the Observer is pretty invincible as long as you don't fly it over the Goliaths and it gets scanned. So actually, LML is doing a great job controlling the middle of the map, and looks like he's about ready to expand to the 8 o'clock location. Or is that 7 o'clock? We'll call that 7 o'clock location. And he's, oh, okay, never mind. I was about to say he's doing a good job clearing mines, and then he just runs a Dragoon in and loses it. But the thought was there.
Now it looks like Fatmassey gonna scan, sees the, I guess this is a 7 o'clock place almost coming up. He tries to get vultures down, kills a single probe.
What are we doing here? Oh my god, no, not like this. Ah, my eyes, Kix, no.
Well, yeah, that didn't work out for LML, unfortunately. I think maybe he misclicked. That's easy enough to do. If he was going back to focus on someone else, it can be very, very simple to have that happen to you, but we got it. Whoops. We got additional gateways coming in. We've got the Arbiter Tech coming in as well. Now, the fact he's lost about 10 Dragoons there is definitely going to be a problem, but as long as he can keep the game going on long enough, if he can stay alive long enough to get this 4th base up, to get some more gateways down in this bottom right-hand corner, he is still in a pretty good spot.
I love this explanation in chat about only playing Path of Exile for several weeks, and I was just like, that makes so much sense because you definitely don't use StarCraft hotkeys for Path of Exile. So look, okay, at least there's a good explanation. That's the difference between an explanation and an excuse, guys. An excuse is where you try to like make it not look like what it is. An explanation is when it just is what it is. But there's a good reason that it is what it is. Like, you know, grinding Path of Exile.
Yep.
Which would definitely make you forget your Brood War hotkeys for sure.
Meta asks, can we have Avalon in the next season? Maybe. I don't know. Avalon is actually a good map. I've thought about it, but I'm still deliberating over what maps to put in Season 3.
You know when Kix has to deliberate over a map and whether or not to put it in, it must be a very special map. I'll just say that. I'd also like to point out that StarCraft is the name of a series of mobile home campers in America. And you know what their flagship camper is called, Kix?
No idea.
Avalon.
Oh, nice. Maybe we
There
can
you
get
go.
that
There's
sick
your-
sponsorship. I can finally get up
I
on
know,
the German
right?
Dildo King sponsorship that people have been trying to get me to get.
Well, dude, that one's a shoo-in. Oh, Mind Drag. I'm excited. Is it going to happen? No, it's not. Never mind. There's no justice in this world.
Now
So
this-
now, there's tanks on a high ground.
Yep, and this drop is incredibly sick. The Vulture is going to make it very difficult for these Zealots to get up the ramp, but he is going to be able to clean this up. Mine's going onto the tanks, but wait. Yeah, okay, they did actually take damage. Oh my goodness. There we go.
Jeez Louise. Okay, well, anyway, we killed the drop and we only lost like 25 units for it. But anyway, we can mine from the southern expansion again, I think. Kix, how many probes are idle at 6 o'clock? Can you count those for me?
That's a lot of counting. I'm not sure I can do
Many.
that much maths.
I was going to say, I don't even have enough toes to count that many probes, Kix.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate he sent them away from mining when the tanks got in position, but that does become a problem now. Looks like we are going to have FAMSE pushing forward. +2 attack is done, +1 armor is not yet finished, but at this point, armor isn't going to really help you too much anyway. It's all about that damage output. Now he's going to get a position over the possible exit to the base, and Arbiter flying out. No, the Arbiter's going to go down. He doesn't have any energy for anything either.
Uh-oh.
And that's a problem.
Hey, Kix, we've got a lot of Dragoons. Do we have a lot of anything else?
Not right now. It's definitely
Nope.
not looking good. In terms of Path of Exile, I don't actually know enough about this, but in Path of Exile, I believe you only control 1 unit, so unlike in Path of Exile, a 1 Dragoon is not going to win you this game, so you need to be very careful.
I watched 1 unit with a Reaver inside blow up, and then I watched 1 Stasis-y boy blow up, and now I watched another shuttle blow up, and now I'm watching all the Dragoons blow up. So, you remember that timing tack you were talking about? It's a 15-minute timing attack, Kix. We figured it out. That's the build. So what you do is you write down the opening part of the build order, and then you write down ... and then you write 15-minute timing attack. And then you just fill in the middle bits.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, FAMSE, after I beat the Reaver super early like that without taking too much damage, the game was pretty much sewn up. It is unfortunate for LML, of course, but I mean, Red is still in this game. They still have a chance. There's 1 more player for them to go. We've had quite quick games so far, all considering, but we're going to be going into game number 4. It's going to be JH versus Cryok, so I'm just going to load up that now, obviously given the win to LML, but if you join the replay, we can sort of get going. Let's quickly introduce our players as well. Now, the first player here for White Clan is going to be JH. He's not really played too much in the STPL. He's only played once, and that was in October 2018. He played against Splax and he won, so that was a very, very long time ago now. Nearly, I guess that's just a year and like 4 or 5 months or something, which is kind of crazy. And his opponent fighting for Red is going to be Cryok. Cryok, a much better known player outside of Korea than JH is, and there's a good reason for it, because essentially Cryok's a boss.
Yeah, I would say that is a correct analysis here. I always root for Cryok. Ever since I met him at the 20th anniversary LAN, I was just like, this guy's legit. He was like the 2nd highest placing non-Korean, non-Russian player, so he did very well. So it's exciting to see him here. To see him here play. Oh gosh. Okay, it's 6 a.m. guys, and I didn't sleep before this, so I'm doing my best.
I will say I need to answer the AMA from Buena. He says, will you change Beehive so it has destructible buildings, so it's 100% island map, kind of like New Arkanoid, and put it in for STPL 3? Well, given the fact I didn't make Beehive and I don't know how to change maps, I'm not going to be able to change it. But,
wait, what's Beehive?
Beehive is a Freakling map, I think. It's kind of cool. 1 second. What's the...
Wait, what league is it in?
I think it was going to be in BWCL, but I don't think it made it in.
Jeez Louise, this is... Yeah, it is a Freakling map, but... Look, I get the concept. Hey, hexagons are cool, but... but look, we already have... What's the map that's hexagonal? Like the 3-player map.
3-player in a coven.
Oh,
right?
yeah. We've already got Inner Coven, and that's got plenty of players. We could play like three simultaneous 1v1s on that map. It's so stupid.
It's so good. I love that map.
I knew you would.
I must admit, that's one of those maps I'm like, do I put that in STPL? But it may go into like a side event thing first rather than the main season. But let's introduce our next map. Where are we? I'm looking at the wrong thing. Here we go. We're going to be heading into BlitzX. BlitzX, one of my favorite two-player maps from STPL so far. We've had some incredibly good games on here, and this is going to be our 10th TBT. I cannot think of a single map I've ever had in the STPL that's reached 10 TBTs on it, so definitely one of my favorite maps for that reason. It's home to the longest STPL game ever, clocking in at just over an hour and 5 minutes between J1 and Kiko. It was a ridiculously long TBT, but ridiculously good. Pretty sick. Looking forward to this. TBT plays out very well on this, so I'm looking forward to seeing as we get into the game. Let's head in. It's Cryok versus JH here on BlitzX. And Meta, I'll answer that when we introduce the players. And starting us off here in the top left-hand position is going to be the red the red Terran player fighting for White Clan. It's JH.
And his opponent in the what do we call this? Oh, this is our good old Malachite color.
Yeah.
This is our German Terran player Cryok.
Yeah, Meta, I'm incredibly happy that Hitchhiker is getting a new version for ASL 9. I think it's 1.2 now, and it's one of my favorite maps from Season 1. Led some really fun games, and I think it's going to be great in ASL, so... LML.
The color is not teal, by the way.
Yeah,
you can actually,
checked.
what you can do is you can screenshot it and then use the dropper function in MS Paint to get the hexagonal or the hex
code,
whatever, the hex code for the color, and then you can Google search that hex code and it's Malachite. Okay, look, that's your homework, guys. Look it up or just trust me. And you know the year is 2020. Nobody looks things up anymore, so you guys are just gonna have to accept my fake news. Unless you want to like do the legwork to research it yourself.
The cool thing is, like, I don't know if you know this rapper. Oh, actually, I don't need to go into this. I've said about the fact that this has happened for a long time, but I can actually see colors as they're supposed to be colors now. Whereas before on my old monitor, I couldn't tell. I can actually see the differences. Like,
I thought you were trying to say you were colorblind for a second. I was like,
no.
I can actually see colors. I'm like, oh my god.
No, I felt
this is a beautiful moment.
I felt bad for Jessie the other day because I think we had like red versus green and they didn't do top versus bottom, and she's red-green colorblind. So it was like, okay, well, you're not going to be able to watch this game.
Yeah,
the good thing is, for Season 3, we're going to be putting in some additional rules. Kesper Kicks is going to come back with some more punishments to get people more... I'm trying to think of the best way to put this, because I'm bad with words recently, but trying to punish them into doing stuff, into submission is what I'm trying to say. So there's going to be a bigger punishment. I've not entirely decided what that punishment is yet, but if the game is not hosted on top versus bottom, both teams will receive a punishment. It's both teams' responsibility to make sure the game's top versus bottom. So, and metaphysics, you're saying yellow versus yellow is hilariously good to watch. It really isn't. I mean, I can't even do it in this
why don't we
game.
just make it yellow versus yellow? Like, that's clearly the way Brood War is meant to be consumed.
Yellow versus olive. I like how I was complaining about that because I got that in a PvP. Like, I don't know if Artos has mentioned to you, but for some reason one day he was up at 4 AM watching STPL, and it was a yellow versus olive PvP, and he just went off on one in chat. Was like, okay, I get it. Like, it's really frustrating, but like... It was just funny. Like, yellow versus olive is so terrible. Oh my god. And it looks like...
Do you think that's bad? I think white and light yellow are the worst colors to have. But I told the devs, I was just like, make it so that the color palette doesn't automatically choose, like blocks the possible random colors from being the ones next to one that one player has chosen.
Yeah, that's what they're supposed to have done, but it doesn't affect random. Like, I'm kind of happy because random can still give you cyan, and I think cyan is one of the best colors. But yeah, you can get yellow versus olive or yellow versus light yellow. I've had that as well. But the funny thing is, I was complaining about it, and Artosis complained about it, obviously, in my chat. And then on BSL, the next time I watched, the first game was like yellow versus olive. And yeah, creative, cyan is a great color. It's just a shame the minerals are cyan.
Yeah, I actually loved some cyan. I think cyan Zerg looked really cool, but you're right. Like, you could make it cyan in the game, but just not on the minimap. But, like, you know, too much trouble. At this point, just, like, I actually really think black is the best color for, like, almost all races. Like, Black Protoss just looks so sick.
Yeah.
But, yeah, anyway, look. Are we talking about the game this game kicks?
We will do. Cryok's going for a 2-fact, whereas JH is looking to expand off of 1 factory. So the good thing for JH is he's not gone for Machine Shop yet. Obviously, that does delay his upgrades a very long time, which is going to give Cryok a little bit of an edge there. But
yeah,
he has enough vultures to be able to hold on early game, so that's pretty good.
That's the thing. When you float your barracks over and you see that your opponent has not 1 factory, but 2 factories, and not 1 machine shop, but 2 machine shops, and also no other base, you just hold on. Because A, you know it's coming, and B, you know your opponent is not all in, but like in, you know?
Yeah. TBT 2-fact as well isn't even super all in. Like, you can transition out of it a lot easier in TBT than you can in any other matchup. Like, if you go 2-fact against Protoss, if you don't get like significant damage done, it's pretty much game over. Whereas in TBT, you can just kind of expand behind it because you get your mines and speed so much faster that your opponent can't really push you. So that's where it comes in. But it looks like we are going to have mines being dropped off, and on the high ground, looks like the vultures getting into the natural. There is a ton more vultures here for JH, so skipping those upgrades really actually helping him out, but he's not going to be able to chase these vultures down. So Cryok definitely going to have to look to try and expand behind this for sure. And he has saved up 400 minerals, so that's what he's going to do.
I'm waiting for those 400 minerals, Kicks. Oh, there they are. Okay. Wow. How could you tell that was happening, Kicks? You're so good. Have you memorized these build orders?
I'm a TBT expert, me. I'm an armchair general, so TBT suits me perfectly. You don't
luckily,
need, like,
I have lots of practice casting with TBT experts, so as long as I don't accidentally call you Nyoken, we'll be fine.
Yeah, TBT is the one matchup I'm actually like okay at. Like the other matchups I'm garbage at, but TBT I'm alright. I'm not great.
Oh man,
this is not good. The vultures catching these tanks definitely not going to be great for Cryok. There's obviously going to be no tanks in retaliation because they're not going to be able to get past all the mines, but losing those tanks early game, that's a massive problem. And this is so important for Cryok. If Cryok cannot win this game, White Clan are going to win the series. So this is such an important game for them.
Well, I'm just waiting for the follow-up. Like you said, you're not really going to like run tanks across minefields when you don't have any
vision
detection.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is that this map is kind of like a 2-player like clay fields or something, where you can't really move through to your opponent's base without passing by these like high grounds that are obviously going to have tanks on them. So, you know, it'll take a little bit of time, but the economic advantage is just gigantic for JH right now.
It definitely is. JH with saying that he's only got 7 additional SCVs. Like, that isn't too big. Cryok obviously starting getting tanks quicker as well, so his tank count's going to be higher. And when you think about TBT, the way to look at it is there's actually 3 resources. There's minerals, gas, and there's tanks. Like, if you have less tanks than your opponent, you're in trouble. Now, this is definitely not a good move for Cryok. He's losing a ton of SCVs, and you definitely don't want this happening, but I mean, Cryok going to try and pull his SCVs away. He wants to try and pull back to his tanks than he had before. He is going to be able to clear up the vultures eventually, but how much damage is he going to be taking? He's lost nearly 20 SCVs.
Yeah, well, look, that's one way to win the game. Also, when all your tanks are dying to vultures, that also maybe should not be happening. I think it's pretty clear that even though this is not a fastest map, which is JH's expertise. He's making it look like a fastest map for sure.
Why are you saying JH's expertise the fastest map? Am I missing
Is that
something?
not like what he streams like 90% of the time?
I have no idea. Is that who JH is?
That's what I thought.
Oh.
That's the only like JH I know. Obviously,
okay.
that's not like the name of his Afrika stream, but there's like, I don't know of too many 2-letter acronym Korean players. So maybe I got the wrong one, but I don't think I'm wrong. Somebody can like confirm if anybody out there knows of JH. Oh god.
Okay, mine's only killing 1 tank, but that does give JH a problem because essentially JH, who was behind in tanks already, is going to find himself further behind in that tank count. And the important thing to remember about this map is while JH has actually opened up the middle, this is such an easy map to split that even if you do go behind in workers,
mines.
They were so good.
Yeah, see, this is really interesting. I wish more Terrans played this Vulture Man style, where you actually just build, what has he built, like 2-3 tanks all game? He's just building mass infinity vultures, and he's killing everything.
Trouble is, it's a risk, because essentially when you skip tanks in TVT, if your opponent gets in a position where they can contain you and you've just got mass vulture, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So Krog losing more and more SCVs, JH going for a third base, GG, Krog taps out, and JH wins game number 4.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like the amount of comeback mechanics in Brood War when you're taken down to 14 SCVs, like, unless you're just way better than the other guy, probably that will not be possible.
Yeah, that's it's tough. And Yaj is saying, can you have a host in 2 hours? I don't know. We'll see what happens. It depends.
You honestly think this tournament is going to be done in 2 hours?
It might be. I mean, that was 1 series, right? So unless I'm crazy, I think... Yeah, it was. They did a really... They tricked me, because in the replay folder, there was an ace map replay. I didn't check what it was. Well, I saw who the players were, but I didn't bother looking at the map. They sent me JH and Cryok's replay twice, so it looked like it was an ace match. Nice. That tricked me. I thought Cryok was going to win that game, and like...
you crazy kids out there, you tricksters, tricking like, old grandpa kicks.
How does Cryok win this? So I was like, no way. But yeah, that was a pretty good series. Red started off strong. Unfortunately, Eridor's 2 gate play didn't work out as well as we saw the mass gateway play of Creative in game 1. That didn't work out too well. But either way, good series nonetheless. It is going to be, Red are going to be struggling a little bit. Just have a quick look at the results. And I haven't actually added all the results. Let's click a button and do that now, because I have that power. Watch this. It's all up to date. We had Creative winning over Pro in game 1. Fairy winning over Eriador in game 2. That was an incredibly close PvZ. Famasi beating LML. A little bit of missed micro in that game. Definitely cost LML a lot. And JH versus Cryok. JH playing Mass Vulture. Cryok not defending well enough against it and just getting his mineral line ravaged over and over again. Gives White Clan the win, 3-1.
Wow. Ain't that just a thing? Anyway, I think you might have expected White Clan to win there, but Red had been doing pretty well. I will say their one win is like, look, there's only so many things you can say about PvP. I think that match really highlighted the subtle nuances of that matchup. But hey, it's still cool to watch guys like Famasi and JH play, mostly Famasi, but yeah, always cool to watch some of the White Clan badasses go to town on some helpless non-Korean Brood War players.
Yeah, and that's going to take us into a quick break, and then we'll be back with series number 2. It's going to be Seoul versus Valhalla team. This is the 2 current strongest teams in the STPL fighting off against each other. You won't want to miss it when we get back very soon.